Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. The men's college basketball tournament has concluded, and as I predicted, Duke has defeated Wisconsin. And this game looked entirely scripted, so I want to go through it. Notice that the college tournament began in the year 39. This was Duke's 39th game of the season. Their final four games started at 309. To me, that was a giveaway. They were going to be the team to win the championship over Wisconsin. One of many giveaways. We'll get into them. And if you haven't seen any of my videos before, I've done a bunch on basketball. After I did this third one right here, I had about 10 subscribers fall off instantly, and I knew, uh-oh, I've done too many sports posts recently. Anyhow, I said in this video why Duke should prevail over Wisconsin, and in this one I talked about how Coach K, he might even be the person behind rigging the numerology in the current sports. Somebody's got to be doing it. Writing these scripts like a Steven Spielberg of the hard court. All right, so let's go through it. Today is the 96th day of the year. Throughout the game, they went to Cameron Indoor Stadium, and I noticed something really funny about Cameron Indoor Stadium gematria. Today's the 96th day of the year, right? Cameron is a 33 word. Think of James Cameron. This guy loves to put the numerology in his movies. You watch all those videos coding 9/11, look at how many of them are James Cameron movies. The word indoor is a 39 word, like the year the tournament began, 39, and stadium is a 24 word. With the S exception, it's a 33 word. But if you add it up with Pythagorean gematria, Cameron Indoor Stadium sums to 96. Again, today is the 96th day of the year. Duke just won its 5th championship with Coach K. And the other thing, the court's also known as Coach K Court. Check this out. Coach K Court sums to 46 with the S exception, with the K exception, 55. There's exceptions for S, K, and V. Only those three. The word March Madness sums to 46 and 64 with S exceptions. Notice that today's date is a lot like both of these numbers. In some parts of the world, the date's written 4-6 for April 6th. In other parts, it's written 6-4. March Madness 46-64. So this was just the ultimate numerology year for March Madness. And I also just want to point out that the word Satan sums to 55. And with the Blue Devils, there seems to be something very satanic going on, especially with all of the North Carolina basketball teams and a whole lot more. But when it comes to basketball, North Carolina is the pinnacle of weirdness. If you doubt that, please go through my video blog and watch my other videos on basketball, from Chris Paul to the death of Dean Smith, to the death of Stuart Scott, and a whole lot more. So check this out. While watching the game, I noticed that Wisconsin had their biggest run while Duke just stuck on the score of 39. Duke was playing real sloppy at this moment in the game, and Wisconsin went on a nice big run. Later in the game, I didn't get an image of this, but if you watch the game, if you recorded it, you can go back and look. Near the end of the game, they put up a stat real fast. They go, Duke has scored the last 7 points in 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Last 7 points of the game in 2:27. When they put that up, I just, I had a big old grin. I'm sure everybody who saw that watches this blog had a big grin on their face. It's just nonstop, True Seeker. They really are doing this. So many people are commenting that only God could be doing this. I beg to differ. People skilled in this, who do this on the daily, they could easily achieve this. But yes, there is very much a spiritual element. I'm not denying that. And if you read my blog, you know well why. Before the game, they were making it a big deal that it was the 5th time this season that Duke has been an underdog. And I was already looking at it because I noticed that if Coach K and Duke won, it would be their 5th national championship. So 5th time underdog, and look, they come out 5th time champions. And of course, 5 is the number of players on the court in a basketball game. So it's a game centered around 5. The halftime score, if you didn't catch it, was 31-31. They said this was the first time a halftime score was tied since the year 88. 88. What do we know about that number, Truth Seeker? Poison, Program, Purple, George Washington, Uncle Sam. Number of importance. If you've seen that Godzilla movie, when Godzilla comes out of the water, the Navy ship has a big 88 on the side of it. And if you decode the name of the ship in gematria, it's a 33 name. But also the sum of this, Wisconsin, Duke, 31 plus 31 is 62, like the word Mason. Masons worship these numbers. The foundational degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry is 31. I also want to point out that Coach K, this record's not up to date now. He won another one, so he's 945 wins. He comes out of Chicago like so much of this numerology crap. He's born in the year 47. He's currently 68. That's how many points Duke just scored, 68. He's born on the 44th day of the year, Lupercalia. His playing career began in 66. Remember, he's Coach K. K is the 11th letter. If you add 1 through 11, it sums to 66. He was an assistant originally at Indiana, the last school to go undefeated 39 years ago. Kentucky was chasing that storyline. Coach K is now 1,000 wins, 1,018 wins. Not 1,017, because it hasn't been updated. And notice his next loss is going to be his 311th, 311, another number of importance. He now has 88 tournament wins. And again, it was the first time since 1988 that halftime was scored in the championship game. He now has 88 tournament wins. This isn't updated. The ACC is the 133. And if you look up videos put out by the ACC, so many of them are a minute 33 in length. It's sickening. You can't miss it. Look at a little gematria here and we'll call it quits. March Madness in gematria sums to 118. And if you look up history, James Madison was obsessed with this number. In my own personal history, I once worked for a company that's address was 118 Madison Street. And looking back at them, because I think about that address now, we had to meet there for meetings. And now doing gematria, I realize the gematria of that company name is 33 too. And it shows me how close to home this stuff is. I think I have worked for one of these agencies without even knowing it because I didn't know numerology or gematria. And I think many other people are as well too. But with regards to this 118, I want to point out that Coach K's now win record is 1,000 wins and 18. 1018. A lot like this March Madness. And we saw how many other things lined up for today with numerology. And again, Blue Devils sums to 666 with English gematria. Check this out, Truth Seeker. Remember how they use that word obliterated over and over and over with the ALPS crash with the pilot initials AL and PS? Obliterated has this same gematria. And check this out. The pilot's name was Andreas Lubitz, which has this simple English gematria of 152. Guess what Duke Blue Devils is? Now, this might seem like really weird information, and I know it is. But what I've noticed, True Seeker, is that so much to do with the numerology in sports connects to the numerology happening with everything else in the world. And the most logical connection I can draw from that is look at who runs things. Look at who runs movies, news networks, sports leagues. It's Zionist Jews. Look at David Silver, who's the head of the NBA. Does he look like a basketball player? Why is a man like that in charge of the NBA? These people run the show. They're numerologists. They make us watch rigged sports by numerology. Yes, it is true. Get it through your head if you're in denial. Please watch my other videos if you're a skeptic. I understand why. But just even without looking at numerology and gematria, it should be apparent to the average person that sports are rigged. They're just so completely nonsensical. Look at even today's game. Look at how Duke got real stupid at the end of the game and almost let Wisconsin back in it. I mean, what is that crap? These are the champions, they're the champions. They're the two best teams. They've gotten here by playing smart ball, and then they're just going to play like absolute idiots in the closing seconds. This crap happens all the time in sports. It's the evidence of the rigging. Look at how Seahawks came back against Green Bay, another Wisconsin team, to get in the Super Bowl this year. Green Bay, Wisconsin's gotten heartbreak twice. Wisconsin is one of two states with a 44 gematria all throughout this game. It was about Frank, number 44, with the 4-4 April 4th birthday. True Seeker, look at my videos and see how much sense I'm making and how much of what I am talking about is lining up with more and more evidence. We have to awake to this. We are being laughed at by the people who run these leagues. And that's not okay. That's not okay. If you're okay sitting on your couch with your beer and your snacks and you're entertained enough, rigged or not, you've deceived yourself. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time.